she got shine. Needs a trailer transported. A little coolant running out of here. It looks like a good old-fashioned throwdown here. Go check the dumpster first. Can't get caught either.
Out of there!
Hey!
Oh, you left the cable?
Wonder where that fell out of. I'm honored to meet you. So rolling across the scale just as it sits, this is 10,000 pounds.
Says yes, because it...
Back to the drawing board.
On my way back home. Well, it's another beautiful day in Havasu. Got the golf cart all detailed up. We're gonna lift this thing up and hopefully set it on here sideways, because I have a fifth wheel trailer I've got to pull to Richfield, and got the truck all detailed up. Look at this thing, it's looking so good. A little bit of diesel fuel mixed with ATF. Oh yeah, she got shine, got the shine on. Well, it's gonna be another beautiful day, and I'm not in Havasu. I'm up here in Bullhead City. Look what I've got myself into. So this old feller here, I use that old mildly. This guy is Mark Henderson. We've been friends since what, 7 years old?
Diapers.
Diapers?
Damn near diapers.
I wasn't changing your diaper.
Well, I wasn't changing yours either, but our moms was swapping kids all the time.
But anyway, Mark reached out to me, and he blew his Dodge truck up with a hemorrhoid, and he needs a trailer transported from Bullhead to Richfield, and we just happen to be going to a show in Richfield, so we're gonna get that done today. Well, we're just turning on the parkway here, off the parkway onto the road that takes us over the pass to Las Vegas. Crossing the Colorado River here. Well, we made it to the Merchant River Gorge. Trucking up through here with this big old trailer. Well, we made it to the Maverick in Cedar City. Be able to walk around and see what's going on here. Tell you one thing, this trailer's heavy. Looks good so far. So far, so good. Lost a little coolant, got a little coolant on the windshield, down the fender, a little coolant running out of here. When I left, I filled this bottle up, and I filled it up too much, so we've been splashing a little out. We'll clean that up, and then top off everything and head on up the road. Well, we made it. Been driving all day, but we made it. Still got a little coolant on the window. Need to wash that off. but he's in his new camping spot, so we'll get him unhooked. I don't know where he's at. It's back behind me a little bit, but we'll get this done and run over to Industrial and see what's going on over there. It looks like a good old-fashioned throwdown here. There is some stuff going on here. Anyway, I'm gonna back over here in the corner and go check this out. Actually, I'm gonna go look at the dumpster first. Go check the dumpster first and see what is going on. All right, first things first. We gotta go look in the dumpster. See if there's anything good in it. Can't get caught either. Can't let anybody see us sneaking over here. You never know what kind of good stuff you're gonna find in this dumpster. Anyway, let's sneak up here. See what we got. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of good stuff in here. Holy cow. There are blocks. Oh man, look at these rocks.
What are you doing? Get out of there!
Hey, what are you doing, Scott?
You looking for Cummins in there?
Well, I was looking for parts. Yeah, that one looks like it's had some extra machine work. What are you doing?
Oh, you know, just hanging out, relaxing.
Diesel's in the mountain, huh?
Ready.
Wow, look at all those valves. Those are all 12 valve valves. Man, that's a lot of valves.
Yeah.
That is a lot of burned up Cummins. Looks like just Duramaxes.
Yep.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4 Duramaxes and some junk broken late gen rods. So yeah, I guess we struck out this time. So let's go check this party out. Well, it's bright eye, bushy tail.
Cables on. What's that? You left the cables on Bethany last night. Well, that's what I was going to ask where we put Bethany too.
This thing up this afternoon, and then we can put a real motor in it.
Why are you hopefully in?
Well, because I don't want to take a good motor out of it. So
What did you do, Paul? What is this?
well, monster. It's a conglomeration. Hey, look, a header bolt. Wonder where that fell out of. You don't need that. Don't even worry about it.
It's overrated.
That's Landon.
That's overrated
That's
too.
Landon. Don't
That's
even worry
overrated
about that.
too. Will that pass tech? Is there
No, the
such
whole
a
truck
thing as
won't
tech?
pass tech.
Hey,
Oh, hey!
I did expect clowns to show up in a clown car.
You know what? We do what we can, okay?
I absolutely expected clowns to be in a clown car.
Well, we do what we can, sir. We're here to, you know what, look, it's...
Can you speak with a British accent?
I don't know how to do... I can be Australian.
You blimey bastards, get the car out the park.
Sorry, sir, I gotta find a place to park.
So, Here at the event, Paul's put this lovely thing together. This has got that supercharged motor in that I gave him umpteen years ago. He's tried to blow it up. We're gonna go sand drag it in the dirt down here. He's put paddles on. It's kind of cool. You want to see how this turns out? Check it out on Paul's channel. He is fully filming inside and out. We're gonna see if we can blow the motor up today. Okay, Graydon's driving us over to interview this old feller that has a Detroit and a 34 Diamond T. And it turns out, take a right. It turns out that Mr. Schmidt, what do you got there? The juice?
Got the juice.
Max MPG. So we'll go this way. This Mr. Schmidt was the Mr. Schmidt that tuned the Sweet 16 that Harry Wolfe helped build. So we're gonna go get him to tell his story about how he was working on it.
We just go on the sidewalk?
Well, yeah, like we own the place. I got this truck coming. Be careful.
I love this thing. Not every day you get to drive a diesel golf cart. It's a Domino's, people.
Go that way.
This way.
Easy, don't let this cowboy over. He's got a bigger belt buckle that you got.
I don't even have a belt buckle.
See? We're going over by this old green truck.
The green truck?
He tried to roll coal on us.
I bet I can roll coal in this thing. Right here?
Yeah, but let's pull it up right here. Pull up. Keep going. Pull up. There we go. Set the brake. Brake set. There you go. Now turned off.
Battery box. Like it.
You like all that torque?
Yes.
You never even got to get on the throttle.
Diesel in this thing.
I did.
Oh my gosh. It was so cool.
So
Ben,
check,
do you think his golf
check
cart's
this out,
faster
Will.
than ours?
check this out, Will.
I see it. John Deere.
What do you think of that?
That is freaking awesome. Triple clutch.
Yeah, it's still got the transmission and all the parts in it.
Did you raise the governor on it all, or just the factory engines?
I had
doing
it.
fine?
I had it. The governor's to the max, and I turned the fuel up on it, and it made so much power it actually pulled the front wheels, so I had to turn it down. I put this little jack shaft support bearing because I thought it was going to break the transmission.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh
rowdy.
yeah, I just realized, yeah, you do have a support there you don't normally have.
Yeah, so we was going to turbo it, but I'm like, it's got too much power as it is. It's just going to shred the transmission. So until we come up with a better transmission setup, it is what it is. So,
4 years later.
but yeah, that's the world famous diesel golf cart.
That is awesome.
that picture and I'm gonna find it. So I'm gonna hand the camera duties off because the deal was he wanted to drive the diesel golf cart.
Oh.
I have a diesel golf cart. I'll show you that later. And I'm gonna let him take it out and rip it, but he has to be our camera guy so that we can have a conversation about this beautiful 35 Diamond T.
It is 4-wheel drive too.
Yeah, I seen that. I looked at the transfer case earlier. So,
Okay.
so what's your name?
Pete Schmidt.
Pete Schmidt. So years ago I did a video on a Sweet 16. It's basically a V16 powered Detroit that went to Bonneville in the 80s, and Mr. Schmidt was the tuner for that engine. His name is on the side of the truck with Harry Wolfie's, and I'm honored to meet you. You have no idea. Like, that truck is kind of emotional for me because I heard about it for almost 20 years. Harry told me stories about it. He said, Merlin, I've got to take you and show you this truck. I think they cut it up. I think it's gone. And we took Harry to the Reno Truck Show. It was the last show we went to, and that truck was there. And we did a full history video on it. He still had his coveralls because you guys had matching coveralls when you went to the Salt. Was you at the Salt Flats?
Yes.
The first year, what was it? 1981?
I don't remember the years exactly because I was out there for Phoenix for 15 years.
Okay, so you worked on the Phoenix.
Yeah, I built the engine in Phoenix.
Okay.
Also.
Okay, so you've been tuning Detroits most of your life.
Yeah.
So you know these things like the back of your hand. Well, so it's pretty cool to meet a legend who's worked on a legendary truck, because that is a legendary truck. But to come across a 35 Diamond T, because I own, believe it or not, a 33 Diamond T. And I'm just getting ready to build it. Well, my grandfather's first logging truck was a 35 Diamond T. But I want you to walk around the truck with us and kind of show us. How many years did it take you to build it?
I had it in the back of my head and tethering parts and building on it for 32 years.
32 years.
I didn't work on it all the time.
Right.
I didn't have a facility to work on it in. And I didn't want to take space, productive space in the shop. So when I was working on heavy, I'd have it in the shop and then take it out for a bit.
So what did you use for axles under the truck?
Okay, the rear axle is out of a Winnebago motorhome.
A Winnebago motorhome. So is it disc brake or is it?
It's disc brake.
Okay, so disc brake out of a Winnebago motorhome. It's air ride. I see you've got an air ride on
I
it.
built the air ride suspension. That's all pieced together.
Okay.
And the front axle is out of an 81-ton dually.
Okay, and that's a new process 205 transfer case.
205 transfer case.
And that's as your side drop, so that would be Dodge or Chevrolet, right?
That came out of a Dodge, that particular.
So that's actually a hard unit to find because that's a divorced unit.
Yes.
So what transmission do you have in front of that?
I have the Allison 3060, New World they call it.
So that's a 6-speed, correct?
It's 6-speed with double overdrive.
Okay.
The rear end on the Winnebago, I couldn't match the gear ratio to the front, which was 307s,
Okay.
because it's out of the Chevrolet. So I took the rear end and I machined the carrier down in the back of the ring gear a little bit so I could get room for the pinion to fit.
So you could put a larger pinion and make the ratio
Make
closer.
the right ratio.
Yeah, okay.
So I coupled them together.
So I noticed you've got like this little snap-on feature here. This is like an extension for your cab.
For the sleeper, and it kind of gives you a little bit more room in there.
So you have, I think maybe I've seen a picture of this thing somewhere with a sleeper on it. You have a
I
sleeper,
don't have a sleeper on it.
but you
I
was
have
gonna put one on it.
I do have it, and it's waiting to be painted.
Okay. And then there'll be a boot that snaps around that and seals
It'll go right up against the cab.
Okay.
With a seal
Okay.
between the cab and the sleeper.
And this is part of the rear sleeper
That's
mount.
the rear sleeper mount.
Okay.
So
Can we open it up and look inside?
Yes.
That's sweet.
Get up in there and tell us. I see you got power windows in it.
Yeah, power windows, power door locks, and I put additional gauges in it. I have gauges for the air ride suspension. It's air over hydraulic on the brakes.
Okay.
So I did that because there's no place to put the master cylinder in the linkage.
Right.
So I could run an air hose easier to the master cylinder with the diaphragm on it.
Okay, so you just use an air valve.
And I use an air valve, treadle valve on the air brake, and I have a trailer brake valve.
Okay.
For the park
controlling
brake.
Okay.
And that's in case I lose my brakes.
So you have a full emergency.
I have a full emergency.
A true emergency, yeah.
To get me to stop.
Interesting. So this one, obviously these rollout windows were an option. I've learned a little bit about these on these Diamond T's. This one has the optional rollout windows, which are in pristine condition. Did you restore those?
Yes, I did. There's a place back in Ohio that built the frames for me. The frames were rusted out.
Yeah, so they built custom new frames.
Yeah, they had the jigs and stuff to do the frames for the Diamond T's.
Nice. Yeah, it's very nice. Got all the original metal. It's all. So is it wood inside the doors still, or is it metal?
So very few people know that.
Yes, I know that because I got a Diamond T with the doors falling off.
Everything was wood.
Okay.
Everything was nailed together.
Nailed in. It's put together
with.
It's put together like a wagon.
Panel nails.
Yes.
Yeah. So the wood, I took it out and I mashed it. This piece of frame in here, which was wood, is done in 5 different angles.
Okay.
And so I had to make the framing, the steel framing, in 5 different angles to fit it inside of the panels. And get the panels to fit right. And then I welded the body all together after the frame was installed.
And then smoothed all these door jambs out.
Smoothed them all out.
So in the door, is it still wood or is it?
It's the metal.
It's metal. So
Yeah,
you metallized it
you
too.
Pull that and you feel
Yeah.
it.
No, they usually you do this. Mine, the window will roll itself down if you do that with the door.
So these vertical pieces are 1 inch thick.
Okay.
Because I did that for strength, for
Yeah.
a roll bar.
Okay. So the cab has literally roll bar structure
Roll bar
built
structure
into
built into
that B pillar right there.
And the doors got about 5/8 inch thick on the
Yeah.
ends.
So you can really slam this old-fashioned door striker and it's just solid.
Yeah. And the wipers, I built this console up here because there's no place to put anything.
Right.
And the wipers, I converted to electric, and the motor I had to put back over here.
So it has a cable that operates,
Mhm,
and
has
the
a
motor
cable,
mounts back in your
the motor
panel.
back here and runs the cable, and it's a stroker cable.
Okay, interesting. And both wipers run off that single
one
motor.
unit.
Very nice. That's some engineering right there.
Yeah.
Because these are
So, yeah.
it's all upside down from a normal car, but it's not the traditional like this. It's 2 wipers that go like this. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's unique. So I noticed it has a Screamin' Jimmy in it.
Yes.
The world famous Screamin' Jimmy. So
what they call a two-stroke or a two-cycle, and PIE, Consolidated, Garrett, they all use these to pull triple trailers.
yeah, I remember the old PIE and Consolidated. When I was a little kid in the 70s, they were still running.
Yeah. These engines were high torque, economically fuel, and so they would use them to pull the triple trailers.
So I noticed this turbo manifold. Is this a factory turboed Detroit, or did you add the turbos?
The turbo that came on this was right on top of the governor.
So it was collected together and it was a single turbo?
Single turbo. And the turbo that came on this would set up this high.
Okay.
So I took the turbo off and built the manifolds are industrial manifolds. But I built the adapters.
Okay. And that's so
adapt.
that's a little riser
Uh-huh.
that sits on there to adapt from that bigger flange to the small.
Right.
Okay.
And it's angled,
Yep.
everything.
To
for
pick the turbo up and
to keep them both the same.
yeah, you've got a lot of hours just in that little offset for that
I
air
can't
filter.
find
Look
anything to
at
do
look
that.
at look at this offset in this air filter. Like he made an offset and chrome plated it.
That's sweet.
What are these air filters off of? What are these?
They're Donaldson filters, and I just was in the Donaldson catalog years ago, coming through, and I found them. I thought, man, those would be ideal. And they handled the CFM of air.
Okay.
I was wanting to build some scoops,
Right.
the semis have.
For like the intake, yeah.
Yeah, they'd just be cosmetic because it draws the air
Right,
from
it's
the bottom.
Yeah, it's all screened,
But
it's open.
the scoop would look real good, cosmetically.
What do you think, graders? We need something like this on my mini semi truck, huh?
That'd be good.
The
So, how many horsepower is this motor now with the setup
about
you've got?
475. I've got the RPM set up. I've changed the injectors for higher horsepower. I can run I'm not running turbo, low compression turbos. I'm running the high compression non-turbo pistons.
Okay, so now I'm going to take the camera and we're going to school this young feller here on how these Detroits are numbered. Because I noticed you got the numbers on the valve cover right here. So when you see Detroits, you could have 92, 53,
71.
71,
And they started with the 51.
so and 51 as well,
Yeah.
right? Because
110,
okay.
and then there's 149s.
Okay, so this number is the cubic inches per cylinder. So this would be called a 6V92. You know why it's called a V?
V shape.
Because it's a V engine.
Mm-hmm.
So 6V92, so you could have a 6V71, you could have a 6V51,
53.
6V53,
Not a 51.
not a 51, 6V53, or 51, I keep saying 53.
No, 53.
So 53, not 51.
51 was the first one,
Yeah,
and that one they dropped.
okay. And then you could also have these in line. So
Not the 92 though.
yeah, not in a
No
92.
in-
92s
no
were
in
all V's, right?
All B's.
Yeah, and they made those clear up to 24, which
Well, 24 cylinders.
24 cylinders, which
No,
was
that's a 71.
that's a 71. It
That's a
wasn't a
24.
92. Okay,
2471.
okay, and that's basically two 12s sharing the same, connected together, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, when you see Detroits, Detroits have a sound. They rumble. They sound like your dirt bike. You know why?
Why?
Because the piston fires every time up.
Dang.
Like if you think about that, every time that piston comes up, it fires and goes back down.
So the first 51 Detroit had no valves, no intake, no exhaust.
So it had an exhaust port
Had ports
and an intake port.
ports. The block was separated, and after that they came out to 71, and it had exhaust valves, and so everything else had exhaust valves in the two-stroke, but no intake.
And all of these GM diesels have a supercharger in the middle, and they won't run without it.
Yeah,
They
well-
are not happy.
They call that a natural aspirated engine because you have to have the natural aspiration for the engine to run, and the blower will give that a natural aspiration.
It's cool.
So basically, the bottom of the cylinders have holes in them. And when the piston's all the way down, that opens up the intake to the supercharger. And with the exhaust valves open, it scavenges the cylinder clean so that it's got a fresh charge of air, and the piston heads back up for another injection cycle.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're pretty unique how they work. They're also unique how they sound.
And instead of like a two-cycle gas engine, these have an oil sump where you mix your oil with your gas on a two-cycle. Well, you don't mix your oil with your diesel. It has an oil sump.
And there's an old saying about a Detroit.
If there's none under it, there's probably none in it. This one probably doesn't leak oil though, does it?
No
You've got
leaks.
this thing sealed up tight.
Yeah.
Probably the first Detroit you've ever seen.
I built enough of them to know how to seal.
You know, you learned how to seal them and where they come apart at.
So you watch, I'll go home and I'll have a leak.
we won't say that too loud then. So there's one other very unique thing about this truck, and I know this because I have mine, the radiator cap.
Yeah.
So that radiator cap's probably worth about $2,500. Do you have it bolted on there?
It's
fastened.
Radiator's a sealed radiator, so the cap's put down with a layer of silicone,
Okay.
and that seals it off.
And then you have a pressure relief cap inside.
Actually,
Oh, I see your
this is
coolant
the
right up there.
hydraulic right here,
Okay.
power steering and the fans
And this is
stuff.
a level gauge
Yeah, that's
for
a
that.
level
So
gauge.
that tank you built that into the
I
firewall. That's
built it
very
in the firewall, and the radiator
unique. Is on the other side. I see it there.
reclaiming tanks on the other side.
All built into the firewall. And then
So-
you recess the firewall like 4 inches or so.
Yeah. And on the front of the engine, I took the Detroit fan hub, the crank pulley off from it, and I took a Hummer fan hub
Okay.
and
The
built
hydraulic
brackets.
drive?
No, this was just a manual fan hub. Took a Hummer because it was about 6 inches shorter in length.
Okay.
So I shortened the engine up 6 inches on the front, or would not have been able to fit it in here.
Yeah, because that's a big old motor. What do these motors weigh? These things are like,
They're about 1,800 pounds.
yeah. Plus that Allison transmission's not
Yeah.
light either. This is a heavy duty truck, believe it or not.
It weighs 10,000 right now.
So rolling across the scale, just as it sits, this is 10,000 pounds.
Mhm.
And how much do you think you're going to add when you put the sleeper on it?
There's probably going to be about another, probably 2,000 or 1,500. 1,000, maybe 1,000, 1,500. It's all aluminum sleeper.
That's super cool. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you. I appreciate you sharing your story, passing some of the knowledge off to the young folks.
Okay.
And we're going to get this video out for the world to see. I appreciate it.
He's ready.
Ready when you are.
You ready?
So what have you got the governor set in this thing?
I got it about 24.
Normally they're down around 22, 2150, right?
2175, 2275.
Okay.
And I did have a 26, but I dropped it down a little bit.
Yeah, 26 is kind of the
Well,
pushing the edge.
you get a full governor with 150 RPM through.
Okay.
So
Yep.
you get full throttle. That's jake brakes on it.
Yeah, so this has actually factory Detroit style
Jake
Jake
brakes.
brakes. Not just an exhaust brake. It's
Yeah.
actually a true Jacobs brake.
Showing off, Pete. You showing off?
Yeah. Yeah, this is Mr. Hot Dog here. You getting ready to tear it up or what?
Hell yeah.
Is this how they do it in Texas?
Back on my ARP, it look like it was Haitian. Killers in the system and they think they on vacation. Push them to my crib, my bitch think I'm a stylist.
Everybody stay back. Unless you're part of the crew, everybody stay back.
Exactly why we emphasize to get that amazing job on the team jumping in there. Woo! Big cheer for these guys. Give them some thanks and some love for being able to step up and do that. I'm sure that was a double whammy. I think they still got numbers in between.
I guess that one's done for the season. It's done for all time. So they're building a new motor for that right now anyway. And we'll see them come back with 3,000 horsepower.
Way to put on a show.
Well, 2,700 horsepower.
Cap, were you happy with that?
There's parts laying
Cap's
all
in the back of
over.
the truck for all you who don't know who Cap is.
There's a piston.
Everybody's safe, so he says yes, because it all turned out with no negatives except an engine. You know, we'll take those casualties. That's how you prove what works.
What do you say, Sean?
Back to the drawing
Did
board.
you PTSD a little bit?
Looking for something?
This was behind you, just so you know. Those cables help. Those cables are serious.
Two cables.
Yeah, was that double wrapped on that?
That was single wrap.
That was single cable.
Did it snap the cable?
It did break it, huh? It broke the cable.
That's a, yeah. That's a 3/8.
So this is the official number. Can't read that in the digital, but it's 2791. This was about 100 yards the other side of the motorhome. Wrist pin bushings, half of the piston. Who's this?
This is our friend's dog. What's her name?
Hazy.
Hazy. Yeah.
He's had a long day.
Oh yeah. He's tired. It's his bedtime.
You guys do. Well, how was that, huh?
Pretty good.
That's pretty cool. Well deserved. What'd they give you? Best in show?
Yeah, best in show.
Oh, look at that. You got a buckle. Well, that truck definitely deserved it. You've done an excellent job on that old truck. Really appreciate you bringing it out and sharing it with everybody. So, pretty awesome. on my way back home. Well, that's pretty much a wrap on Diesels in the Mountain. What a great event. Thank you, Industrial Injection, and for everybody that helped put that event on. And thank you for watching. We'll see. Where are you going, Harry?
I'm reminiscing, baby.
You're reminiscing?
Old street racing days.
The old street racing days. Driving the old 28, huh?
High school too, and there we go, get down like that. In second gear.
Except you probably had the rumble seat open and a bunch of girls in the back.
I had the girl right here. Screaming. Oh, you can't believe how you hurt a man. This is, oh, I could cry. It's so wonderful to look back. Oh, what a thrill. Oh, no.
When was the last time you seen the old girl, Harry?
A long time ago. I thought she was all tore up and gone. It's a show years ago, they wouldn't do her, but she's here. Oh,